Stephen, you've been back in the airline business for over a year now, run the gauntlet of learning. It's a new industry these days. Sure. Compared to the past when you were involved as well. Tell us, what are your impressions so far? How are you finding it?
Well, you know, my last airline gig was in 2001, working for Virgin Atlantic. And this job came to me as a result of my my work with Virgin. They connected the dot and brought me towards Delta. And 1 year in, you know, this is a large organization. I often say that it's a beast of an organization, but I mean that in the best possible way. There's 85,000 global employees.
Huge.
But I've yet to hear a no when I've gone and I made a request down to Atlanta. There's just this real commitment to Canada, so it's fantastic.
That's great to hear. And now, Delta's also done some very innovative things over the past few years. I think the culture of the airline itself seems to have changed in its approach to, well, the customer and also the trade.
Sure. Sure. So, you know, the Delta of 2008 is very different to today's Delta. Went through some really challenging time with a bankruptcy, merger with Northwest, and so through that process, Delta has come out a very, very different carrier. There's a commitment not only to the customer, but there's also a commitment to the agent community, and we've done some pretty amazing things. We call them industry first. Our operational commitment to our corporate accounts, for instance. Delta is the on-time machine. So we know this because the Department of Transportation in the U.S. tracks various metrics: on-time arrival, departures, completion factors, baggage, and we're number one across 3 of the 4. We're number 2 in luggage, and only second against JetBlue. And when you think of their much simpler network of point-to-point versus Delta's very complex network of hub and spoke, it's really incredible that we have these.
It is incredible. You also have a commitment on the luggage delivery.
Yes. So we guarantee luggage to the carousel in 20 minutes, or we will give you 2,500 Sky Miles points credited to your account.
How much is all of this costing you?
It's costing us very little, actually. So
that's
you know,
that's the point, I guess.
That's the point. You know, Delta is the on-time machine. We know that we've got it together. We are committed to our corporate customers and ensuring that they get there. Now that extends to leisure travelers as well. When you book a ticket and want to travel to visit your family on the holidays, you want to know that you're going to get there. So we stand behind our product. We know that we can deliver on these results, and as a result, we're not really paying out that much. It's fantastic.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, it's a great plan.
But you are developing more. You're going to serve Canada a bit more, and also internationally. What's happening on that front?
Yeah, so the Delta commitment to Canada is fantastic. We're adding new routes and new services. Toronto, Salt Lake City coming out in 2016. We have Victoria to Seattle that's launching in 2016 as well. Edmonton, Seattle. So there's a nice commitment to the Canadian marketplace from Delta perspective. But despite the fact that Delta is my employer, I also represent Air France, KLM, and Alitalia. So I represent 4 carriers. And likewise, the commitment from our JV partners is strong to Canada. We launched Edmonton to Amsterdam on KLM.
Right.
And Paris to Vancouver with Air France.
Yeah. So it is growing. The network is growing as well. Larger capacity, new aircraft.
Larger. You know what? I love saying this. It's not just about shiny new aircraft. So it really is getting it together here in a very responsible way. We're in an environment of low oil, low fuel prices. So some carriers are taking the approach of just adding capacity. Our approach has been a little bit different. We have increased capacity, but at a very stable level. We recognize that we have to manage this business in downturn periods as well. So right now
there will be one.
Yeah. We're riding a really great wave of low oil prices, record profits from Delta, $2.2 billion profit in the last quarter. It's really significant stuff. But we also know that we have to future-proof the business. So we have to be smart in how we grow the business.
Yes. What do you think took so long for the airlines to realize the opportunity to really become profitable with all of the fees? Since the airfares are very, very low.
Yeah. Look, I think airlines have just matured through this process, and they've learned through very challenging times. We've learned that just increasing capacity when times are good and when oil is down will have the opposite effect when oil prices skyrocket, because we know that that will happen as well. So having a balanced approach will just mean that the business is balanced even through those down times.
Yeah, excellent. Well, continued success, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. I'm sure you will.
Loving it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.